How's it going, guys? 526 Gaming here, and first, video, uh, no subscribers yet, but here we are, and we are in WarThunder as our first official gaming video. Well, heads up, I will not be doing any Battlefield Hardline beta anymore, because as you know, as of a couple of weeks ago, the beta had closed on a Monday. Disappointed, but I did have a fun time. I wish that we could have gotten to a video, but you know, I'm still in school and I still have those kind of priorities, and unfortunately, YouTube and gaming aren't my number one priorities right now. But here we are in WarThunder, and it just feels good, okay? I think I have a good feeling about this. Obviously, no subscribers yet, but you know, that's how everybody starts off. So here we are in WarThunder. I started this about, I'd say, 2 months ago. I'm not really good at these kind of like progress games. As you can see, I am already out of golden eagles because I waste them not knowing what I was doing with them. But here we are, and I guess we can go left to right, and I'm going to focus more on some air vehicles today. Here is the P-26A-33. I have a custom paint job on that. Yes, the Pappy. This one, definitely a good starter. As you can see, it's got its gun here, and you won't see this until you fire it, but there is a gun, I believe, in here, because when I fire it, I am not getting that single round. Actually, I don't think this is... I apologize. I don't think this is even a gun. I think this is the sight. Oh, wow. I apologize for that. I should have spotted that. I was thinking that that's a gun. Ugh. Oh, that was bad on my part. Alright, moving on. Here we are. We have the HE-51A1. Definitely a starter plane. One of the planes they give you. This plane has done a lot for me. With the upgrades that I have on it, let's see if we can take a look here. The upgrades I have on it, I've got the tracer rounds, and I've got the 7.92 millimeter MG17 machine gun with a 15-second reload time, and 7 millimeter gun, MG17 again, actually 7.92, and it shoots like a beast. I mean, it's mean when it shoots. You hear that dun 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 dun. I think that's awesome. But yeah, it's a great plane. And here is my bomber for the German category. As you can see here, we have the HE-111H3. Not the best bomber, but it definitely carries a payload, let me tell you. I can haul in 3250 kilogram bombs and 8 250. The 32 packs a punch. I haven't gotten to the other bomb, the 50 kilogram, the 250, pardon me, the 250 kilogram bomb, but 8 of them could probably pack the punch that you need, because the 32, it's kind of like a carpet bomber. It just rolls them out. And this is a very, very nice bomber. Not heavily armored, but it is definitely worth considering. It has 1, 2, and I believe, yep, waist gunner here, and nose gunner here, and a ground and another one, so that tops it off at 5 turrets. That gave a pretty good defense when you give them fully upgraded. And let's go to the Russian planes. I only have currently one that I usually use, and this one is the I-15WR. It is a nice, nimble aircraft. It's a little bit different from most biplane aircraft that you'll start off with. As you can see, it's a little bit shorter. It's lengthwise, and the co-pilot, instead of sitting just beneath the top wing, he sits above it and looks in between those little slits right there, which gives him, I think, a little bit of an advantage over where he can look, and a disadvantage for getting shot from the side. I have gotten my pilot knocked out multiple times while using this aircraft, and that gets annoying because you had barely any damage and they just come along as you either taking off or trying to capture a runway, and they just go and they take out you right on the side. Get a little angry about that. But yeah, nice looking plane. I think it's really cool. Little caps here give it some aerodynamics, and yeah, it's a great looking plane. So let's move on to the British. So here we are. Oh, sorry about that. Here we are with the Blenheim Mk4. This bomber is I would call it a beast. I was gonna call it a monster, but it's a beast. I mean, usually in bombers, pilots don't get a big part of the action. And if this guy right here who can sometimes turn all the way to the front and shoot, if he's busy with someone back here, you've got this gun right here. If you see that, you can see the little black streaks from the shots being fired. And that is, I think, this is an offensive 7.7 millimeter belt. It is I've unlocked all the bullets, clearly. It is a really, really good thing to have. I had a guy, I was in a custom lobby, and a BF-109 comes racing in on my 12 o'clock in front of me, and I was like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's coming at. I had a guy behind me that these guys were distracted with, and I just pulled the trigger, and I actually got some pretty good solid hits on me, and he just missed me because he took off. He did fire a few shots into my body, but he did turn away. And I think that saved me for the match, because I probably would have been done for if I would have gotten hit. This one is a very, very fast bomber, a very, very sturdy bomber. It is a little bit more armored than the HE-111 H3 that we looked at, but this one is very well armored, definitely. I've got the Hell's Angel right there. I got the American flag right there. I don't know if you noticed the paint job on the German, but I had a girl on the side who has a bomb for a present for you. Yeah, I think it adds a nice touch. This is a little nose thing. I see those on bombers in World War II movies, especially on Red Tails, which is one of my favorite World War II movies, except for the little flying physics that they pull there. Anyway, yeah, the Blenheim. The British is probably my most progressed class. I really like using them. Nothing against Russian, German, or American. It's just I feel like they make solid aircraft. Yeah, they just make really good aircraft. So, moving on, it's my newest addition, the Spitfire Mk1A. I've been using this a lot in custom battles, getting used to the feel of them. It boasts a lot of guns in the front. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 guns. I believe that there's a cannon upgrade that we can get for this. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you can, please let me know. It does not look like I can. No, it does not. You can get all the usual bullets, the stealth, the tracers, and the universal. This is a great aircraft. So far I've used it. It's fast and it gets the job done. It is armored, this time in the back and in the front. It's fast. It does pack a punch with its little machine guns up here. But the machine guns, because there are so many of them, does create a little bit of kickback, slowing you down substantially in a dogfight, especially in a climb. The engine does not heat up very fast on this one. Other biplanes and bombers, especially in the American, German, and Japanese classes where the engines heat up substantially, this one keeps itself cool. And I don't know if it's because of this big thing, which is, I believe, the air intake. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not very well educated on my World War II planes and the way they work. I'd have to look up. I have to look into that for people, because people in future videos are probably going to criticize me by the way I don't know what I'm talking about. So anybody that watches, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this air intake? Does this air intake? I have no idea. Oh, I know this is exhaust, okay? I know the cockpit and the rudder control and ailerons and flaps. Trust me, I know that. But it could be. I would think it was. I would think it is. So, yeah. The Spitfire, it's very good in combat. Very, very good. A nice combat plane. Okay, here we go. I've been using this one. This is probably my #1 aircraft I've been using. The Piccadilly Lily 2. Say that 3 times fast. This I've been using. Still got 8 guns. They're very tightly packed together, unlike the Spitfire, where they're a little bit more spaced out. And this one, it has something called a float carburetor, where if you become inverted, the engine starts to kill on simulator and realistic battles. Learn that while test flying it in like a simulator and realistic battle. And that didn't anger me, because I knew that this is like one of the first more modernized planes that Britain came up with. Because looking at the research branch, it's like one of the first up here. But yeah. Yeah, really, really nice plane. It goes rapid fire, very, very fast shooting aircraft, and just you really feel the power, the dun 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 as it fires. It's really good. Here's the Gladiator MK2. This is probably my favorite out of all of the biplanes. One, because it has a little combination of the cockpit and the biplane. It gives it more of like an advancement feel. And the way that the exhausts work, I wish they did it more. To be honest, I wish that they did it more, because look at how they angle it off the bottom instead of bringing it past the top. Okay? I probably doesn't make a difference in the way the plane performs. I just think it's a cool idea, and I think that they should do that more often. Yeah. So we got gun here, and gun here. Now, if you look right there, let's see if we can zoom in. There's the gun. It shoots right through here. That is a very interesting feature. Very interesting. Yeah, and that keeps it centered, because these ones might shoot off a little bit to the left or the right, or vice versa, and these ones will stay head-on for somewhat. Yeah, moving on to Japan. I've got 3 biplanes here. These ones are, now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Japan, but I just don't like the way the planes are designed. I think they're too boxy, and the engines heat up at an insanely fast rate. Insanely fast. It's just too much. And this is the KI-10I. Got some custom decals on it. Adds a little pop to it. It's white, which is very cool. I like how they made it white, but it does get dirty. It does get very dirty. Small propeller.